Hey guys, welcome along to Magic Monday. So today's video will be sharing a bit about what I found out recently, and I changed my office around on the weekend, so I don't know how you guys were feeling, but I moved everything in my house and sort of created a bit more space and opened things up a bit. So I'm just getting used to where I've got everything, so hopefully this camera stays upright for us. But I wanted to share, I thought I'd share with you a couple of different things, right? Because Magic Monday is all about giving you different tools. And today I wanted to share with you some of the insights that I get from the astrological calendar. I had to read what it was called. And that calendar has been teaching me a lot in terms of the phases of the moon, which is great for when to plant certain plants, but also when to do certain things. And because you can carry across whatever you do in your garden into whatever you do for yourself as well. What else do I want to share with you? I've got a few different pieces of information about upcoming events, and then I also want to share with you some stuff around the full moon that's coming up too, and some oily suggestions as well. So we'll get straight into it. And then I'm going to do Monday meditation after this so that you've got something else to listen to. So we start today, April the 6th. It's all about fir oils this week. So it's all about old ancient wisdom, big trees, all that sort of stuff, right? So I've been inhaling Douglas fir oil today. And Douglas fir is all about, like it's old as well, but it comes from a young sapling because it's actually a pest in New Zealand. But Douglas fir is all about being an introduced species, I guess, and just adapting to the environment and allowing yourself to grow and thrive regardless of whether you're supposed to be there or not, and to expand. So this week is all about a bit of a reflective journey, as if it hasn't been already, right? So hopefully you're coping all right with this time to be by yourself or in your house on your own. But this week is really about a few different things, right? So the moon is in Virgo, which means that you might find that you'll be in a bit more of an industrious mood. What that means is that you'll do jobs that require a bit more precise attention, like cleaning, like changing rooms around, like bookkeeping, doing your own research. So I've been doing a lot of that as well, and study. And it's also a good time for you to start looking into your wellness, into your own health, your own physical health, your mental health as well, and to sort of go through any emotions that you need to go through in terms of basic medical stuff. I would start to have a look at the way that you're caring for yourself and what can you do that is around you. So what can you do in terms of movement, stretching, all that sort of stuff. It's really about, and this is really cool because it sort of coincides with a couple of different retrogrades, and if you don't know what that is, then you can research that sort of stuff. But there's a particular need to focus on your own independence, and it's going to be that way until July, so it's sort of perfect timing, and this coincided really well with what's happening in terms of the moon. If you've actually got that 2020 astrological calendar and moon planting guide, there is this whole wealth of information in the center of it, and that was given to me at the start of the year, so before any of the events have unfolded, and there is so much in there. I don't know if the person knew what they were getting themselves into when they wrote that or what the go was, but there's so many hidden messages, and so much is starting to become really clear based on what I've read on that calendar. So I'm pretty excited because I know that everything's going to be okay anyway. But it's very much a time to focus on your own independence and to not be relying on others. Discover your own joys and pleasures. So start to work out what it is that makes you happy without the need to have external stimulus, without the need for somebody else there to help you feel good. And to help you with that, you can use Tiger's Eye. So Tiger's Eye is, this is a piece of Tiger's Eye that I've got. So it looks like a cat's eye when you look at it. It's often brown. It's got striations in it. You can get green as well because I've got a green piece. And the oil jasmine or jasmine flower. So I wasn't a big fan of jasmine because it give me hay fever. But use a flower as well. Like I said, we're in Virgo. That's until tomorrow morning. So 7:17 a.m. we shift into Libra. So the moon actually cycles through all of the astrological signs on quite a quick basis. So it's about 2 days, but like 48-hour type thing where it's actually sitting in that star sign. So tomorrow morning it's going to shift into Libra. And what happens there is that we will feel inclined to have a look or to redress conditions which are unfair, in disorder, or out of balance. So everything that's happening at the moment, right? Remember that it's all about introspection because we're being made to stay home. Pluto is going into retrograde towards the end of the month. And the reason I know that's because when I was at school, I loved planets and things. So I've always had a fascination with the major planets, and Pluto has been one of my favorites because it's so far out there, but there's probably other reasons for that. And my friends could tell me what that is. But Pluto is all about getting rid of what no longer serves you, right? And bad habits coming up and all these things coming up for you to get rid of them, for you to look at it, review it, and get rid of it. So that's what's happening. Tomorrow is sort of a little bit of a taste of that, right? And the moon will cycle through Libra a couple of times in a month, right? In a lunar month. So you have this happen all the time, which is why we're always changing. Nothing stays the same. Change is, I don't even know who come up with that word that things don't change, because they do. They always shift and change. The whole world is spinning, so we're always shifting. Anyway, yeah, so what you'll find is you'll be in a little bit more of a cooperative mood, I dare say, because you're looking for ways to resolve things. You're wanting to get things done. You might start working on negotiating agreements, things like that, or maybe you want to work towards resolving a conflict. That's sort of coming up. It's a really good time, a really small window, but a really good time to plant fruiting annuals, which are beans, corn, tomatoes, pumpkins, squash, marrow, peas, capsicum, zucchini, eggplants, chocos, and okra. Because Libra is a semi-fertile sign, it's classified as, and I'm just taking that directly from the chart. But just start to be aware and notice if you're starting to do this sort of stuff yourself on your own. What happens, but, is that Tuesday night we're shifting into full moon. So you might actually find that there's some crazy energies going on anyway, because our body is primarily water and the moon impacts the tides in the ocean. And this is logical, right? It just makes sense. If the moon impacts the tides in the ocean, and the ocean is enormous, imagine what it does to our body. And what is water within our body? It's emotion, it's energy in motion. So if you do find yourself experiencing feelings that you're not used to, get a journal, okay? I'm a huge fan of journaling, and it's just to write questions and to answer yourself and to do your own reflective work. I'll do a session on journaling. But what we're doing is we're shifting into that full moon, right? And the full moon's in Libra as well. So Libra is the justice, it's the scales. Talk to you about justice in a minute too. The divine law. We're closing that. So on Wednesday anyway, we're shifting into the full moon in Libra, and we want to shed what we don't need. So if you have a think about that, and you have a think about what's happening at the moment, we're shedding what we don't need. And that may sound interesting to some people, especially when you're being challenged, when you go to the shop and you can't find what you think you need. But start to have a look and release things that you don't need anymore. So I have a garage full of stuff now for when we are allowed to have garage sales again, because I can't be bothered doing the whole thing on Facebook and selling items at a time and you can't pick them up, or just does my head in, right? So I'll have a big garage sale, and if nobody wants it, then it can all just go to the salvos or to the tip. But it's time for you to start thinking about what can you shed that you don't need. And the reason you want to start to become aware of this is because we're in autumn when the leaves are falling from the trees. So Adam Barrowley from Crystal Connections is someone that I do learn from and have picked up information, or perhaps I've remembered from. and he calls this the falling leaf moon. So this one is all about taking notice of the beauty that's around you as well as the beauty that's within, but having a look and seeing what is it that you can shed that you don't need anymore, bearing in mind that you've been in quite an industrious mood today. Okay, so Monday is quite industrious. You'll do jobs that require precise attention. Then we shift into Libra on Tuesday. That's when you're going to start to notice and want to address conditions that are unfair and out of balance. And you'll feel a little bit more cooperative. Good time to resolve things, and also a small window to get into your garden and plant some beans and tomatoes. My tomatoes are going off. The birds did that for me, but anyway. Then on Wednesday, we go into our full moon energy. Happens during the day. And then on Thursday, we're shifting into Scorpio. Yeah, had to look at that. Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a fertile sign. Scorpio is a water sign. It's the best time to plant root crops. So that's shifting into Thursday. It starts Thursday morning. All this month, by the way, is about the Earth chakra. So that's about us reconnecting to Mother Nature. So if you are getting the inclination that you want to be outside more, that you want to be in the garden, and even if you don't have a yard, if you're in a unit, you can make a planter box and grow your own herbs if you like, or you can. I saw a really cool video on some people growing lettuces in the crack of their pavers, that sort of stuff. But on Thursday, you will also notice that you'll be in a little bit more of a guarded mood, and best to be self-sufficient and not intrude on other people's spaces, which is fine because you're not meant to be out and about anyway at the moment. Do dirty jobs that require repair and renewal. So this whole week really is all about getting in there, sorting stuff out, working out what you don't want anymore, and putting it away. Having a look at things that require you to rebalance them. So it doesn't have to be anything paper-based or people-based. It could just be stuff around your house. Maybe there's stuff that you've just let it sit there for so long that it's just dead energy. It's just stale. So change it up a bit. But later in the week, we're moving into Easter. So Easter is a religious celebration, yes, but it's older than that. It's got pagan history to it. It's like, it is very much, it is still one of the ones that runs on the moon. Okay, so Easter always has a different date every year, and that's because it runs on lunar cycles. So we're kicking off Easter on Friday with Good Friday. And we're still in that sign of Scorpio, so get out there and plant your root crops and stuff like that. You're going to have another chance to do that next week. But get in there and plant some root crops, that's on Thursday and Friday. Because on Saturday, we're going to shift into Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a sign where you want to look for wisdom. You might be a bit adventurous, but bearing in mind the current state of play in Australia and the fact that we're not really meant to be out that much interacting with other people, but you can be out in nature, okay, nature cure, nature therapy, Shinrin Yoku, nature bathing, like forest bathing, all that stuff, get into that. But it's time for you to widen your horizons. Make contact with people and ideas outside of your normal sphere of association. So if you're someone that's watching my videos for the first time, or maybe you're only just starting to learn with me, there's a reason for that. And particularly come Saturday onwards, your mind will be wanting to explore different things. You'll be ready to start looking at things that maybe you wouldn't have looked at before. Maybe it's time for you to pick up a different book to read. Maybe it's time for you to learn about a different country. Maybe it's time for you to learn about different culture and the way that they look at different things. It's amazing the number of Eastern cultures who run on the lunar cycles versus Western cultures who are very patriarchal and run into a calendar and all that sort of stuff. So it's time, on Saturday, it's time for you to start to explore the world. It's time for you to start to explore alternate possibilities. It's time for you to open your mind. The mind works best like a parachute when it's open. So it's time for you to get into that. Now, next week there's more stuff coming up. But this week seems to be full on, right? And the reason it's so full on is because we're leading into a full moon. Full moon is all about releasement, get rid of shit, stuff that you don't need anymore. Okay, just get rid of it. Now, there's two things that are happening for me too. Like I teach lots of different stuff. So you just got a mix of a whole heap of things in there. Now, I also get a lot from the 13 clan mothers, which is Native American Indian. And I've only started to really step into this space in the last 12 months to 2 years, thanks to some friends guiding me through the journey. But we are currently in the Wisdom Keeper. And the Wisdom Keeper, she looks at divine law. She's looking at, is that where we are? No, Ways the Truth. We're in Ways the Truth. Wisdom Keeper was the month before. So we're still in the cycle of Ways the Truth. And what you're going to find is that as we come towards the full moon on Wednesday, right, things may be coming up last minute. And this is so appropriate for on a global scale. Ways the Truth is the clan mother of the third moon cycle. So she's just coming to an end. She teaches divine law. She is the fair judge of human rights, the keeper of equality and the guardian of justice. She does not judge our actions by bestowing punishment, but rather teaches us the principles of divine law. The actions we take are based on our decisions. If we decide to hurt another consciously, we have also made the decision unconsciously to receive lessons connecting to harming another. The keeper of justice sees all sides of every situation with clarity and cannot be fooled by half truths and lies. You're going to find that a lot more stuff's going to come out in terms of agendas, in terms of direction, in terms of what is really behind what's going on. And I just ask that you become curious. I was talking to a friend this week. We've only just become friends. We were going to do some work together. I was actually going to go and do a course of hers, but it got cancelled because we can't travel overseas at the moment. So we've just been talking anyway. And what we were talking about the other day was for some people, you need a catastrophic event to start to wake you up, to support you in asking questions. What if? It's interesting what can happen. And I appreciate that. I have been someone who has always asked why. Yes, but why? No, but why? Okay, but why? I don't understand what you're talking about. Why? Why are you telling me that I can't do this? Why are you telling me that I have to do that? Why? So if you have a child who is continuously asking you why, as frustrating as it may be, cherish that, because it means that they will always question. They will have a depth of knowledge that others just won't understand, and they'll be able to lead other people in a really magical and wonderful way. And that's what the world needs. They need someone who can see, right? This leads into Look's Far Woman. She's the clan mother that's coming up. So on Wednesday we shift into her energy, and Look's Far Woman is the clan mother who looks at the full spectrum and pastels of colours. So April is all about lots of colours, and autumn always is. We have the trees dropping, and then if you're on the northern hemisphere, it's spring, so you've got everything blooming. The fourth clan mother is all colours. She looks at everything. She's able to go to the golden door of illumination and to open that door and to see what's on the other side. She's the one that will take you on the journeys. So when you're sitting there and you're wondering what's next, what can I believe? What do I think? Why is this happening? Know that during the month of April, during the lunar month of April, you will have more access to that sort of deep knowing and to be able to explore different things. So start to tap into some of the stuff that you probably wouldn't have listened to and looked at before. Reach out if you want a hand. Find people who can help you to start to tap into the wisdom that is actually there for you, and use this time where we have to be alone to do a lot of that work, to do your journaling and stuff. Look's Far Woman is the doorkeeper of the crack in the universe and the golden door of illumination. that leads to all other dimensions and awareness. I smile because I fucking love this stuff. She stands at the crack of the universe and safely guides all human spirits through dreamtime journeys into the other realms and then back home, being present and fully conscious of their bodies. This clan mother is a seer, an oracle, a dreamer, and a visionary. She teaches us the validity of our impressions, dreams, visions, and feelings as they exist within our inner potential. Lux Far Woman instructs humankind on how to unravel the symbols found in psychic impressions. She shows us how to see the truth in every vision we receive and the tangible and intangible worlds. In her wisdom, Lux Far Woman assists every seeker in finding the seeds of personal and planetary prophecy that the great mystery planted inside all human beings. So this is old stuff, right? But there's so much there, and I just want you to question. So become someone who continuously asks what else is out there. Why is this? Do I have to do that? Don't just jump in the line behind the sheep, behind the other people. You are more than that, and you are here for a big reason. And if you don't know, but this sparks a curiosity, then you need to learn and you need to reach out, because it won't take long. If your soul, if your inner self has that capacity, then it'll come really fast. Take it from someone who was wandering through the dark for so long and is now happily being a creative disruptor. Anyway, that's our Magic Monday. Finish with an oil blend, hey? So we've got peppermint, we've got lime, and we've got wild orange. Now I used these 3 yesterday as well. Why would I use them? Peppermint is the oil of the buoyant heart. If you feel like you need a break or a rest from all the bullshit craziness that's going on, maybe you feel sad, maybe you're hurting in your heart, maybe you've lost somebody, or you're just really not happy, peppermint will give you a break from that emotion. So just pop a drop in your diffuser. Lime is zest for life. So lime is all about, it's that zesty smell, it's that big smile, it's getting yourself out there, but in a way that you enjoy your own life. So zest for life. And then finally wild orange, because wild orange is the oil of joy, it's the oil of abundance. Citrus oils have the capacity within their chemical makeup to lift you, to lift your mood, and peppermint is just going to give you a break from the nutcase world that might be out there around you at the moment. So pop a drop of each, or pop 1 peppermint and 2 drops of each citrus, because citrus is volatile, so it flashes off really quickly. Pop a couple of those into your diffuser or into a bowl of water and let it just permeate and really enjoy the scent. I hope that you enjoyed that Magic Monday journey with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. If you've got questions, please contact me. And if you liked this video or you got something from it and you feel that others may, please share. See ya.